thought I would shoot a video just to talk about the timeline and editing things inside of the timeline so you have full control over editing your VSL. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this area down here, which are the different tracks. So as you start to add different audio tracks, again, maybe you have a voiceover, maybe you have multiple voiceovers or multiple background audio tracks, you'll start to add them right here. And one thing you can do is you can double click on it and you can change the name of it so you know exactly what it is. So I may say, background number one, and then I could be like main voiceover, right? Just so I know exactly what it is, okay? Now the thing next to it is your audio level. So if you want, so one thing I always like to do is have my background noise much lower than my voiceover. So the background isn't overpowering my voice. So you can always change it just by dragging the volume button right there, okay? We also have, this is where you can delete a track, okay? If you want, just click on that minus, and then you can also add a track right here. Okay. Now, some other things here that you can do. You can actually click and drag each of these different audio tracks. So if I wanted to have an audio track start at a specific time, I can do that. I can zoom in or I could zoom out so I can kind of focus in on the area that I'm editing, right? Now, another thing you can do is you can right click on a track and remove it. Or if say that you are, right here and I wanted to split this track into two, I could right click and then split it, and now that track is cut. Okay, it's a cut or a split. If you've worked with any type of editing solution before, you're probably familiar with what a cut or a split is. So that's how I would cut a certain audio file up. Okay, or if I needed to shave off a certain amount of time, I could do that. So I could either cut it, or I can go to the very end and I can drag it to right here, right? Now sometimes you may have an issue with additional time here. So you can see that the track it's going past the 2 minute and 45 minute mark. I can click on change duration and I could say that I want this to be 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So I can cut off that extra time that may be on there. So whoops. So the minimum duration time is 248. So let me do 248. Okay, and so now it cut it to 248. Okay, so that's what the change duration will do. Now, a few other things that you can do are let me go ahead and back this up a little bit. So if you're manually syncing your slides, or even after you've done the auto speech recognition and your slides have already been synced, let me show you what you can do. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to auto sync this really quickly, and let me pause this. I can see all of the different slides right here. So if I wanted to adjust a slide, all I need to do is either click up here or click down here, and I can just click and drag. Okay, so if I need to adjust the timing of a slide, I can do that just like this. Okay, I could also remove a slide altogether if I wanted to. Okay, so that's how you would adjust the slides if you needed to manually override something if the sync wasn't exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so that's how you guys work inside of the timeline.